Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Hannah and I'm going to be going over 5 tips and tricks for you if you are new to meditation. So meditation is beneficial for so many ways. It's to higher consciousness, reduce stress, relieve anxiety, combat depression, helps you sleep better. There's just a ton of information on the science behind meditation, which I cannot provide for you, but there's really versed information out there that really gets into depth that I would suggest that you take a look at. But if you are new and you've already heard about all of the benefits and you've possibly already tried it, and you're just feeling frustrated or you're starting to feel like it's not for you, don't give up yet. Try my 5 tips and hopefully they will help out for you. Okay, so tip number 1 is create the space. So pick a short time and a good time slot in your schedule to fit this in consistently. It should generally be the same time if you want to actually create this as a part of your lifestyle. So if you're finding that you're doing this a lot at night, you're meditating a lot before you go to bed and you're falling asleep, chances are your body needs a rest, so it's probably beneficial to honor your body and take the rest. But maybe don't meditate during that time and pick a time early on in the morning right before you do anything. So aside from creating the space in your schedule, create a physical space that you go to. So it could be in your room, in your living room, wherever you're able to find some solitude without being interrupted. So I would suggest lighting some candles, burning some sage or some incense. Make it fun for you so that you'll actually stick with it. Tip number 2. Okay, so if you have gone into meditation or you're trying to get into meditation at this point because you're seeing it all over social media or people that you respect are also advocating meditation, you're more likely to not stick with it because you don't have a desired result. You're just doing it because it's a part of pretty much everybody's daily practice. But if you go in with the intention of alleviating anxiety, combating depression, just reaching a higher state of consciousness, then you're more likely to stick with it. So just a little side story, if you don't mind. I initially got into meditation a few years ago because I was facing a lot of anxiety, and I heard that it really helped alleviate anxiety, but I didn't really know exactly how or what my desired result was going to be. I was expecting to just not have anxiety, and it actually took a lot longer than expected because it's not a pill, it was a muscle that I had to train. And I would go into the meditation and just feel the anxiety, feel all the emotions that were creating the anxiety, and it was essentially creating the space to just feel. And the more I did that, the more it released out of my body, and I was able to be more mindful in my day-to-day life, which anxiety is being out of the present moment because you're just so anxious about all these different things. So I was able to create this space and release this emotion and combat my anxiety. But because I set the intention, I stuck with it because it was more difficult to treat the anxiety than it would be a pill. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit of information. Okay, so tip number 3 is tapping. And when it comes to meditation, we focus in on tapping our chakras. So if you're new to chakras, without giving you too much information here, chakras are just generally an energy system. They're tied to our emotions and our organs. So just for the sake of this video, we're going to stick with one chakra. It's called the solar plexus chakra, and it's located a few inches above your belly button. So we want to use the tapping technique to wake it up. And also the solar plexus chakra is good for power, strength, higher consciousness and focus, which is why we want to do this prior to the meditation. So we want to take 2 fists and pretty firmly just tap on our solar plexus. Tip number 4 is start off small. I would suggest starting off anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes just when you're beginning. The smaller, the more likely you're going to find it easy, and if it's easy, then you're more likely to stick with it. So when I first started, I used an app called Headspace, and it has like a little time period, like a clock that you can gauge each meditation from like 2, 5, or 10 minutes. And then prior to each meditation, it gives you like a little animated cartoon that is like a snippet of information of what you should expect during the meditation. Because there's a lot of guided meditations out there that are just way too long, and they're just so difficult to incorporate into your life because, one, you don't even know what you're doing is what you should be doing. It's boring or you get frustrated. But with the small increments of time that Headspace provides, it's easier to stick with, and then it also teaches you a little bit about it prior to the meditation. So just start out small. Once you've reached the 5-minute mark and you think that you're ready to take it a little bit longer, you can then change your clock to 10 minutes. Once you've used Headspace quite a bit and you've found it comfortable and easy to do the 10-minute meditations, that's when I would suggest to go onto YouTube and then just search guided meditations, or you can look at some of my meditations that I put out, just depending on what your goal is. So the 5th and final tip is breath work. With so much information on breath work, I can create a completely different video with all sorts of different information, but for the sake of a beginner, we want to use our breath work and our breathing as a focal point. So when our mind starts to wander, which it will, just allow it to first. Don't create resistance and feel frustrated. Just allow it to wander. If it's the majority of the meditation, that's honestly perfectly okay. If you use your breathwork as your focal point and your brain starts to wander, just notice it's wandering and then come right back to your breath. Just using it as your focus point every time it starts to wander will kind of help you alleviate yourself of the pressure of trying to control your thoughts so much in the ending note. So thank you so much for making it this far if you watched all of my tips. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you find this information informative. And if you have any other tips and tricks, you've been doing meditation for some time now, please leave it in the comments below for other people to see, because it is a struggle getting into meditation. And any information that we can share with each other is much appreciated. So thank you so much, and I look forward to putting out similar content around meditation.